Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video because it's finally here. We have been waiting, I have been waiting for this service to be available and to have the opportunity to present it to you for so long. Today we are talking about opening a bank account in Portugal, but not just opening a bank account, but opening a bank account remote, online, without your presence being necessary in Portugal. And if you are one of those people who are in all sorts of Facebook groups, you know that this service was probably already on the market in Portugal. But this service that we are going to talk today with Kathleen from Border, it's different. Why it's different? Because it's for non-residents. So yes, there are some banks, Millennium included, because we are going to see that this service is provided through Millennium Bank and their Prestige program. So Millennium offered opening a bank account in the past online, but only for residents and citizens of Portugal. We are talking today, and the miracle of it is that now we can offer this to non-residents. For example, for people from US who are looking to obtain a D7 visa or a golden visa or any type of visa, but not just only for the US. This is just an example. So those people were required to be in Portugal in order to open a bank account. Kathleen is going to explain you that she asked a lot of banks and she went above and beyond to be able to present this service to you, because a lot of banks said that this is illegal, this is not possible, this is not in order with the regulation from EU. So basically a lot of banks said we cannot offer that to non-residents. But she persevered, and here we are today talking about this service. She's going to explain you all the necessary details, but now in the introduction I want to give you my 2 cents. So this service is very well connected and linked with the other service that she provides, that is obtaining a NIF. If you don't know what a NIF is, it's the Portuguese tax number, and she offers that you can also get that online remote without actually being in Portugal. A lot of people who are accessing the first service that she launched, the NIF, also require this bank account opening service. So I think that these 2 services together are going to help you to have a quicker, a better and a paperless move to Portugal, so you can concentrate on the other problems, not on the bureaucracy in Portugal, because I think you know by now, if you are thinking of moving to Portugal, that Portugal is a very bureaucratic country. This service is also useful to the EU residents who can access this service for commodity. By all means, I don't want to say that you cannot do this if you are already in Portugal or if you are a EU citizen. You can come here and do it for yourself, but with the pandemic and everything, this service simplifies your life. So this is the idea behind the service, so you can concentrate on other things. And for non-EU residents, this is a big help because they can obtain a NIF and this bank service that we present today without actually being in Portugal and before coming to Portugal, because they need this for their visas. Another thing I want to specify is that this video is not sponsored, meaning she didn't pay me to film that. It was quite the opposite. I was texting and emailing her and ask her, Kathleen, when this service is going to be ready? I want to make a video with you, because the other service was so well received. So she did not pay me to film that. I was the one who wanted to present that to you, because you are all people who are looking to move to Portugal, and I think the service is exactly for you. But this video contains an affiliate code. This means that if you are choosing to buy this service from her and you use my discount code Algarve Lifestyle, you get $10 of your order. In doing that, I also earn a small commission for that sale. I am always going to say what I'm getting and what you are getting in the videos when I'm going to work with different partners and present you interesting stuff, I hope. So you are always be informed about my situation and about the service. I am now going to leave you watch the interview. If you have any more questions, please leave it in the comments. Everything is going to Kathleen and she's going to answer, or if it's something more personal or detailed, just email her directly the questions and she will gladly answer. She answers all the emails, so write her and you will definitely get your answer. And after you watch the video, I will see you again and chat a little more about this service. I'm so excited.
So hi Kathleen, thank you for joining us again to talk today about opening a bank account, a Portuguese bank account, without being necessary the presence of the person to be actually in Portugal. I'm quite excited for this one.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me again. I'm glad to be back on your channel and super excited to be talking about this new service that we launched a little over a month ago. By popular demand. So yeah.
Yes, by popular demand. I know I had a few comments myself. So let's start by talking about who needs to have a bank account in Portugal.
For sure. Yeah. So basically anyone who is moving to Portugal and plans to, spend time here, live here, or transfer a significant amount of funds. So basically we've mostly been working with individuals who are coming to Portugal on the D7 visa. That would be one example of a type of person who would need a bank account. From what we know, also golden visa, in order to make your investment, whether that's like purchasing a property or investing a fund, you need to do that through funds coming from a Portuguese bank account as well. Specifically, I guess going back to the golden visa, going back to the D7, we've heard that a lot of consulates in the United States specifically have been requiring that individuals have a Portuguese bank account at the time of submitting their visa application. And that's been a little bit difficult, especially like with COVID. So people aren't able to come to Portugal and do that trip, where people used to look for an apartment, set up their bank account, do all the things. And I think that was one of the big driving factors why people were asking us for help with getting this service set up.
Yes, totally. So this service is available also for non-EU residents, but for EU residents as well, it's very useful.
Absolutely. So yeah, we can work with EU residents and non-EU residents alike.
Yes. So what are the main advantages of using your online service?
Yeah, I'd say that the biggest advantage is the fact that you're able to set up a bank account without being physically present in Portugal. It was really funny. It's funny now that I look in hindsight, but during the time, it was very difficult. So basically, as you guys know, like we set up the NIFs, we set up Border earlier this year. Our first service offering that we provided was the NIF. And that has, put us in touch with a lot of people who are moving to Portugal. And as part of the requirements, a lot of people were asking for bank accounts. So, after running the NIF for a few months, we started working on this bank account service. And it was actually incredibly difficult to find a banking partner who was willing to work with us to help set up bank accounts for people who are not outside of Portugal. So we got all sorts of responses. Like some banks told us it was illegal. Some banks told us that it just wasn't possible. You have to physically be here. That's the only way to set up a bank account. We refused to accept no for an answer. So after a lot of work, we eventually found Millennium Prestige to work with us. And so, yeah, it's wonderful that we're able to manage basically that whole process completely remotely. So just to tell you a little bit about how it works, you would fill out our form online, we collect all of your information, and then you would receive your bank account opening documents from the bank. After that, you would set up a signature recognition with our law firm in Portugal. And then once that's complete, you mail your documents to Portugal, and then we open your account and you're able to get online access and then fund it. So yeah, basically you're able to manage everything without ever stepping foot in the country. So that's been really convenient for a lot of our
That's huge. That's huge accomplishment. And basically, if you are talking about the documents needed, what are specifically the documents they have to send you?
Yeah, so in order to open the bank account, you would basically need a copy of your passport, so a valid passport, proof of address in your country of residence. And what counts as proof of address, that could be a utility bill or a bank statement, a driver's license. Those are a few examples. And then we would also need your proof of employment. This wouldn't be necessary if you're retired or unemployed. Let's say like if you have like a mother-daughter setting up an account and the daughter is still a student, then we would only need proof of employment for the mother. And then lastly, we would need your Portugal NIF document.
Okay, and with the Portuguese NIF, of course, you can help as well. So it's two services in one. So they upload these documents on your platform, and then what happens? The documents get sent somewhere?
Yeah, so you would submit all your documents through our online form, and then our team will review everything, look through, make sure that everything's complete and everything is valid. If there's any additional documentation that we need or any like documents that need to be updated, we'll be reaching out to you. The next step is that you'll receive from the bank your account opening documents, which are the documents that you would need to sign to open the account. So once you receive those, then you schedule a virtual, like a video call with our partner law firm. You hop on that video call and you basically sign your account opening documents over Zoom. Once that's complete, you physically mail all those documents to Portugal, to our law firm. The law firm will receive those documents, they'll attach their signature recognition, and then they'll pass that over to our bank. Once the bank receives your physical documents, then they will be able to open your account. So upon receiving your documents, they'll be able to open your account within a few business days. Once your account is open, they'll be in touch with you in order to set up online access to your account. So one thing that's important is that you have the ability to accept a text message from a Portuguese number. And so basically you'll receive that online access code, and then that's how you'll be able to set up online banking.
Okay, so basically it depends on how soon you mail the documents, and the sooner you mail them, the sooner you have the bank account. From your experience so far, what is the longest time that it takes to open a bank account?
So on average, it's typically taking about 2 weeks for people to open the account. And you're absolutely correct that the longest stretch of time is that mailing of the document. So it's largely dependent on the shipping speed that you would pick. Most of our customers that we've worked with so far are eager to open their account fast. So, we've seen some documents arrive in Portugal within like 4 business days. Some will take like, 5 to 7. It really varies. So on average, it takes about 2 weeks, and that's with it taking about 3, maybe anywhere from like 4 to 7 business days to ship the documents to Portugal.
What services are included in this package? Because it's not just the bank account, there are a few other things.
Yeah, so we're working with the Millennium Prestige program, which actually, I'd say that the biggest benefit of the Prestige program is that you actually get a private bank manager who becomes your point of contact with the bank moving forward. And so we find that, a lot of the people that we're working with are moving to Portugal. And as you know, there's like a lot to navigate in a foreign country. Banking is one of them. So we think that it's like really nice to just have someone who you can call or text or email in case you have any questions related to your account. So yes, as part of that service, you do get a dedicated bank manager at Millennium BCP. You would also get online banking access. The account also includes 2 debit cards and 2 credit cards, as well as free Euro transfers to countries within the EU, plus a few more, which they call like SEPA member states.
Sounds very good to have a dedicated person that knows your situation, and you have direct access and contact with that person without going through all the robots at the bank. And it sounds really, really good.
So you have your dedicated bank manager. And another reason why we ended up choosing Millennium as a bank is because apart from your dedicated manager, you can also walk into any Millennium branch. You can use any of their ATMs. If you live in a city that's different from where your bank manager lives, you can also walk into a Millennium Prestige branch and you would get assistance. So Millennium has, close to 500 branches throughout Portugal. So wherever you are, there is likely going to be a Millennium near you.
Yes, I saw that they are quite big. And so the bank account, it's opened in euro, but what if someone wants to open the bank account in US dollars because they have the money in US dollars? They can do that?
Yeah, so the bank account that you would open, the initial one that you would set up is a euro account, but it is possible to open a separate US dollar account. So they would have to be separate accounts based on the currency, but you do have the option, after you set up your euro account, you can then get in contact with your private bank manager and let them know that you would like to set up an additional US dollar account.
It's good that this is possible because I think the majority of the non-EU people would want to have a US dollar account. I don't know. Maybe you could tell us more about that because you are coming from the US and.
Well, we've gotten that question before. We find that people typically are okay with having, just a euro account here because a lot of our customers still maintain. Some of them will still maintain their US bank accounts, and so they'll use that as their US bank account and their Portuguese bank account as their euro account. But it's certainly good to have that option for those who completely want to move everything over to Portugal. It's good. It's good to know that you can have both in case you want it.
And what about bank fees? What are the bank fees associated with this type of account?
Basically, I guess the short of it is that your monthly bank fee can range anywhere from 4.5 euros to 15 euros. They have three different tiers that affect kind of like what amount you would pay monthly. And it's based on a combination of your age and your maintaining account balance. So we have more details on our website to see the exact kind of like breakdown, but one thing to know is that the maximum that you would pay is 15 euros a month, and there is no minimum balance. So I guess like by maintaining a higher account balance, then you can lower your fees, but there is no minimum required, and the most that you can pay every month is $15.
Yes.
It's very interesting. 15 euros.
So it's very interesting that you don't have to have a minimum balance. Still, it's a prestige account, and most of the banks, I hear that they put this condition. So it's very nice that you don't have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
With all the things that we are discussing until now, what is the cost of this service that includes everything that we discussed?
Yeah, so the service to set an account up, the service fee is $350. And so this includes the bank account set up for either a single account or a joint account. So, whichever you choose, it's the same fee. And it includes the cost of the signature certification with our law firm. And, again, the big advantage of that is that you do not need to notarize or apostille your documents in your home country. So it's a big time and cost savings. And then with the coupon code Algarve Lifestyle, we partnered with Louisa to give you $10 off that order. So then you end up paying $340 for your
And thank you very much for offering that to my subscribers. Thank you very much. And you mentioned joint accounts. We don't really have this in Europe. This is not that widespread as in US. So basically a joint account, it's an account that two persons decides to open together. And you offer this within this program, I understand.
Yes, that's correct. So joint accounts, it can support two people. These people, the two account owners, do not necessarily have to be married. So common things that we've seen, I mean, the most common would be partners, like spouses, like husband and wife. We've also seen, mother-daughter. You could possibly open like with your sibling, maybe if you and your sister or brother are both moving to Portugal and it's convenient for you to have a joint account, but that's definitely an option for you.
That two person will only pay the one-time fee because the fee is associated with the bank account, not with the persons that open the bank account.
Exactly.
So if you choose a joint bank account, you only pay one time and two person can benefit from that account.
Yes, that's correct.
Really, really nice. And I know that this joint bank account is also a plus because we tried to open a joint bank account here in Romania, and it wasn't possible, at least not for the average people. You would have to have certain wealth. Yes, so this is a big plus.
Well, yeah, luckily, Millennium's been great. We've opened several joint bank accounts with no issues at all. So on their end, whether it's single or joint, it's not there are no kind of like additional requirements, or it's not necessarily more difficult. So yeah, if you have a partner that you're looking to open a joint bank account with, we should definitely be able to help.
Millennium it sounds great so far. So you said that you partnered with Millennium in this service. So how and why? I mean, it's obvious by now why you chose Millennium, but at the beginning, what attracted you to this bank?
Yeah, so one big thing is that, well, it's funny, when we first got here, like you see Millennium everywhere.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, they have like over 500 branches. They are the biggest private bank in Portugal. So they definitely have like that brand name. Because most of our customers are moving to Portugal and, living here and kind of all across the country spread out, we wanted to work with a bank where our customers could easily find a branch that's close to them and have access to their ATMs. If they needed to speak with someone personally at the branch, they would have that option. Those are kind of like the main reasons why we chose Millennium as a brand. And then under Millennium is the Prestige program. So it's kind of like a program under Millennium, because you have kind of like the commercial, what they call mass market Millennium and Prestige. Yes. Prestige program. And so the Prestige program, the main benefit is that you do get that private bank manager. So we found that as we're working with individuals who are moving to the country and, getting life set up and might need some help or someone to call on, it would just be nice to have that lifeline, that knowing that you can always count on someone at the bank to help you with your account.
Great. Yeah, sounds really great. And I think we covered all the information. More information the people will find on your site, which would be listed here. And of course, they can write you at the address that is going to be on the screen. Also, they can leave a comment.
Yeah, if you have any questions at all, you can always reach us. Happy to field any questions about bank accounts, also about NIFs.
Yeah,
we're kind of experts in this domain now.
yeah. So also, I have a video about NIFs, and I will link it down in the description below. And you can see there another interview with Kathleen about why you need a NIF and all the information necessary. And now to just finish the interview on a more personal note, because some of my subscribers want to know this, some ask, but I'm sure that there are others that want to know. As a person who comes from US and relocated to Portugal from 1 year now, something like that, I think. They want to know how is Portugal after spending some time here, and basically, are you happy with this transition and decision that you made?
Absolutely. So yes, we, my husband and I, but I'll speak for myself. I've been loving Portugal so far. As Louisa mentioned, we've been here since February 2020. So we've been here for over a year now. Granted, it's been, a very interesting time to move to a new country with COVID and the pandemic and all. It's like whenever we talk to people, they're like, oh yeah, like this is different from what it normally is. So I guess that's largely our experience, because we got here in February and things shut down in March. So we had that like little 1 month of normalcy. We were at Lisbon at the time. And so basically with the pandemic happening and not much activity in the city, we've taken the time to explore a lot, like different parts of the country. So that's been really cool. So when we first got here, we spent 5 months in Lisbon, and then we went on a road trip through the Alentejo and down to the Algarve. That was like a 2-week trip. That was where we stopped by different cities. And, Portugal is beautiful. There's so much to see in the country. So that was really cool. After doing that road trip, we then went to Porto for the summer, which was the one city that we actually had visited prior to committing to the D7 and moving to Portugal. So it was nice to come back, spend the summer in Porto. And then after that, we went back to Lisbon. We spent some time in the Algarve. We were most recently in near Peniche, and now we're back in Porto. So we've kind of, gone through the country. And yeah, as I said, it's a beautiful country. The people are so kind. It's been so, we've felt the warmth and we felt really welcomed in the country. There's a lot of nature, access to amazing produce. We both love to cook. So that's been really important. And so, yeah, I'd say that in the past year plus, I've seen why so many people have fallen in love with Portugal and why a lot of people are moving here.
Really nice experience to hear, and you seen quite a bit of Portugal.
Yeah. And there's still more.
Yes.
There's still a bunch of cities on our list. Like, as we travel and meet new people, they're like, oh, you have to see this place. Like, we really want to go to Serra da Estrela, which we haven't been to yet. On my list, I want to see Coimbra as well. I've heard many good things about that city, but we haven't quite made it there. So yeah, I think we'll, and the Douro Valley, like we've spent time in Porto, but we haven't, we've heard that it's really nice to like drive along. So we're trying to come up with some plans in the coming month to maybe explore a little bit.
Thank you so much, Kathleen, for taking the time to explain to us about the bank system and the service you are providing in Portugal. And I hope to see you soon on my channel with more and more services.
Yeah, thanks again for having me. It's always great to chat. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or if there's anything else that we can help with, I know Louise is going to link or add our email in there. So feel free to, I'd love to hear from you.
Thank you very much.
I hope you liked the interview and the information provided there. I hope answered all your general questions. Again, if you have any more questions, leave it in the comments or just write to Kathleen directly. And if you don't plan to access the service or you don't need the service, just leave it in the comments. What do you think? Do you think it's useful? What was your experience opening a bank account in Portugal? Let's start a conversation about that. These services are thought to satisfy a need and they are directly requested by you, the public. So if Kathleen knows what you need, she can develop more and more products and help you have a better, quicker and paperless move to Portugal. If you do choose to access the service, don't forget to use my discount code Algarve Lifestyle for $10 off your purchase, and in this manner you help me and my channel grow because I earn a small commission of that sale. I hope you have a wonderful summer. I hope you have a wonderful move to Portugal or a wonderful vacation in Portugal if you are just coming to test the waters, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!